Hi, welcome to this month's video. This month I'm going to show you how to make an infinity card, sometimes called a never-ending card. And it's actually amazing how easy this card is to make. So let's get started. We're going to need 4 pieces of cardstock cut to 3 by 6. And you're going to need to score all 4 of those pieces the same way. I'm going to score at 1.5 and 4.5, and then turn it around and also score at 1.5, but only go to the other score line. Turn it over and do the same thing, 1.5. So now you have four pieces all scored the same. Then we're going to glue everything together. So you want to take 2 of the pieces and you want to make sure that they are actually evenly matched up, butted right up against each other. And to keep them from moving, I'm just going to put a post-it note there to stick it down. And then I'm going to use liquid glue, but you can use the tear tape or any other strong adhesive. And you're going to put that in each of the outer 4 squares. And then you're going to take your other 2 pieces that you've scored and you're going to position them the opposite way. So these are going vertical, so these 2 are going to go horizontal. And this will show you why I prefer the liquid adhesive, because it gives me some wiggle room. I can move it around just a little bit. And you need to make sure that the pieces are butted up and not overlapping. And then set that aside to dry. Now I've already done one in shaded spruce that's already dry, so we can go ahead and mess with it. So what you want to do is you want to take your first fold and you just want to fold it back like that, and then burnish it really well, and then it opens like this, and burnish that really well, and then it opens again like that. And then to go back to where we started. Okay, so we're just going to decorate this really quickly. I have some of the pieces from Nature's Poem DSP, and we're just going to, I'm only going to do part of this just so that you get the gist of it. So I'm just going to glue 2 of these pieces down. And this one. Okay, we'll set these aside, but they would go on here. So then we'll get to our second fold. And for this one, you have 2 large squares, and then you have 2 of the smaller ones, and then the rectangle. So for that one, I've cut some more paper. Your rectangles are 1 1/4 by 2 3/4, and your squares are 1 1/4 inch square. We have this, and then I have 2 pieces that I stamped. So just for the sake of time, I'm just going to glue the 2 pieces that I've stamped down here, because I do want to show you the finished card. And you can just get the idea and remember that there's supposed to be pattern paper there. And this one is a birthday card. Okay, so then the next opening would be this. And the one thing that you will notice is that when you open this, you have a square here, but if you had put just the rectangle piece of paper here, which let's go ahead and glue that on. Get the idea here. If you do have this there, then you actually only have rectangles available. So you have another 2 3/4 by 1 1/4 inch rectangle, and then another one, and then 4 of the 1 1/4 inch squares. Let's see if my glue will let me correct the fact that I laid that down a little crooked. Okay. So for this one, I won't do the outside squares, but I will do my two little rectangles here. And I do have squares cut that I'll put, I can do later. This is also out of the Nature's Poem paper. And then your next opening is here. And this one you have 4 or 8 squares. And then you have 2 of the larger squares, the 2 3/4 inch squares. And what I did is I stamped a couple of images with the Varied Vases stamp set, and I left the vases open, and I'm going to show you a really quick way that you can use the punch to get 3 of the vases. So what I did is I just took a piece of scrap cardstock and I took my punch and I punched it out, and this is going to be my template. So I can take the stamps now and I can put them right in the holes. Because I'm going to want all 3 vases. And then you can take your clear block, press down. Now your stamps are exactly the way that they'll be on the punch. So you can take your cardstock. This is shaded spruce ink. Ink it up. You can stamp your vases. And then your punch. You can line up your punch and you can punch them out perfectly and easily. And I've already done that and put some dimensionals on them. So we'll just stick them on our stamped piece here. 1. 2. We'll go ahead and glue these on. And then I'll show you what the full card looks like, even though it won't have all the pattern paper stuck to it. Okay, so we have the front of our card, and then we open it. We have the next one, and we have the next one, and then we have the last one. So there's actually 4 sides to this card, and then it opens up back to the front. So I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you next month.